chip trials. We are going to go to the camera boat. Shots pretty shaky because they're about 250 meters away. But Cassandra Reed is underway. She is the only competitor in this event, which is the junior women's single. And provided she makes it down the course safely, she will be going to Turkey for the Junior World Championships. Beautiful course in Lithuania. Many international events have been held there. And so we are just going to watch her row down the course. Cassandra West Cambridge rowing. She was second at the Northeast Youth Championships, and then first at Youth Nationals about a month ago. And that was out in Sacramento. And we had a great regatta out there. And she's just rowing very nicely down the course. And earlier this year, much earlier, actually it was late last year, she was third at the head of the Charles. So Cassandra Reed, rowing for West Cambridge Rowing. I guess nobody else thought they could keep up with her. So she's going to push it down the course. And I think we're just going to watch her row for a little while. Just through the 500-meter mark. See why she moves as well as she does. Nice and tall. Nice clean catches. No drama there, no excitement. Blade just goes in. Legs push and off she goes. Very nice. launches out. The camera on top of the finish tower will bring Cassandra in. We're going to send the launch back up so they can catch more of the men's single where there are 3 competitors. And that race is coming up next. Cassandra has a little more than 500 meters to go. For all of the results, you can go to herenow.com. They come up pretty quickly after the race concludes. And Cassandra Reed coming to the line. Junior women's single. She's over the line and on her way to Trakai. Congratulations. Next up is the junior men's single, and when we get the camera launch in position, we'll go to that race. Laura, yeah, just gently, stay with them for a little bit. And as we wait for Richard and those guys to get into position. And the men's single is underway. Three competitors. And this is Maxwell Heed from Seattle Scullers in third place by, looks like, about 2, maybe more boats of open water behind William Lejanowski from Maritime. And out front is Clark Dean. And Clark Dean looks like he has about a boat of open water. And they are coming into the last 500 meters. And we will go to the finish, going to the finish camera. Going to the finish camera on top of the boathouse, and we'll pick them up there. Laura, Laura, find them, find them, find them. There you go. Clark Dean maintaining his lead out in front of William Lejdowski and Maxwell Heed. It doesn't look like Clark Dean is being too stressed, with about at least a boat length of open water. We have just 3 more races. I'm sorry. About 4 more races this evening. And this one's wrapping up pretty cleanly with Clark Dean way out in front. He'll be going to the final tomorrow morning. Again, as a junior, their protocol is best 2 out of 3. So tomorrow morning, starting at 7 o'clock, the juniors will have to race again. And he just coasts across the line. But he and William will see each other tomorrow morning. With everybody across the line, we'll be going up as soon as we can to the junior women's double. That is what is up next. And as soon as the camera launch gets into position, we'll take you to that race. Junior women's double. Lane 3, Ulitsky and Ulitsky from Palo Alto on the far side from the camera launch. Lane 2, with about a boat length over the nearest competitor, is Gildersleeve and Howe. And closest to us in lane 1 is Vandermeer and McErling. Caitlin Gildersleeve and Lauren Howe out in front right now, but you can see they're being pushed by lane 1. That's Vandermeer and McErlin. So Gildersleeve and Howe got out quickly, but through the middle 1,000, we're seeing Sarah McErling and Camille Vandermeer coming back and rowing through them. Sarah was born and raised in Switzerland. And she's also a black belt in Aikido. Wow. At 16, she was on the Swiss U19 team, and she is teamed up with Camille Vandermeer from New York, and she's going to be in this area in college next year. She's going to Princeton. But they have really come back strong through this middle 1,000. Unless Caitlin and Laura have something up their sleeves, this one might be going to Sarah and Camille. But again, with the U19 format, they will see each other in the morning. Switching to the camera on top of the finish line tower, little harder to see the perspective, but even from here, you can see that lane 1 with Sarah and Camille are out in front. And they got about a boat length, and it looks like they're taking even more as they have just come through the 500-meter mark. The closer Sarah and Camille get to the line, the further they push their competitors behind them. Now with many boats of open water, I would imagine they're feeling relatively confident about having to race again tomorrow. But tomorrow is another day. And certainly Miss Gildersleeve and Miss Howe have a very strong start and got out very quickly. At the line, all right, and those two will see each other tomorrow. Go to herenow.com for results and also to check tomorrow morning on the schedule. Races are slated to start at 7 o'clock. Up next is the men's double, and we'll get to that as soon as the camera launch gets into position. $500 in, and it is a Vesper Boat Club with Cooper Tuckerman and Christopher Fisher starting to move away a little bit from Jeremy Wolpert and Michael Fairley. It's a long race, but this is a pretty good indicator for the Vesper Boat Club duo that they're doing a nice job. And they are. You can see, again, sitting up tall. Nice push with the legs. And it seems with every stroke, they're pushing the pair of Wolpert and Fairley a little further back. Rowing very nicely as they get close to the 1,000-meter mark. And And we are going to the finish tower. From on top of the finish tower, you can see that there's a pretty good distance put between Cooper Tuckerman and Christopher Fisher from Vesper, who are out in front, and they're followed by Jeremy Wolpert and Michael Fairley. With the best 2 out of 3 format for the juniors, these two doubles will see each other tomorrow morning. Races are slated to start around 7 o'clock. Check with herenow.com for the actual start time of the race. So Cooper and Christopher, just a couple strokes before the finish of the first final, best 2 out of 3. Jeremy and Michael coming to the line, and they will see each other tomorrow morning. Up next is the junior women's pair, and we will get to that race as soon as the camera launch is in position. Women's pair is underway. Lane 1 is a U19 selection camp boat. Lane 2, the same. Lane 3, Coven and Essie, unaffiliated. And then on the far side, furthest away from the camera launch, is also a U19 women's selection camp boat. But out in front is Coven and Essie. And Caitlin Essie was in the Saugatuck 8 that won a gold at the Youth Nationals about a month ago. So jumping from the 8 into the pair and doing a very nice job. Rowing unaffiliated. Oh, I'm sorry. I have one listing that has them unaffiliated and one listing that has them as a selection camp. So out of the selection camp, but doing a very nice job here out in front. The nearest competitor, lane 2, about 2 boat lengths behind. That's Braz and Nifton in lane 2. And once we get a clear shot here, that looks like lane 4. Amlicki and Shamanman. We have a little bit of a dead spot with the camera, our transmission. But back out to the leaders of Coven and Essie doing a nice job. They have about 700 meters to go. So the best out of 3 format. The 4th place boat will not race tomorrow morning. Races are slated to start at 7 o'clock. Best 2 out of 3, and there are 4 boats in this race. 1 will be eliminated. And we are switching to the camera on the top of the finish tower. And even from this angle, you can still see who is out in front. HereNow.com will have the results up very quickly after this race concludes. And as I mentioned, races are slated to start at 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. Again, consult HereNow.com for the exact race time. Coven and Essie very comfortably out in front. with about 250 meters to go. You can't see the buoys change color, but they go from yellow to red, signifying the last 250 meters. Tomorrow morning when you're watching, you'll be able to see the buoys, the line where it goes from yellow to red. Following this race will be the U19 men's pair, looking very sharp coming across the line with 3-4 boats of open water. When our camera launch gets up into position, we'll bring you the men's pair. At about exactly the 500 meter mark. It's the men's pair. Lane 1, closest to the camera launch, is Jack Gallagher and Gregory Lemure. Lemure was in the Pacific pair out of San Francisco that placed 5th at the Youth National Championships about a month ago. And Jack Gallagher won a bronze at Youth Nationals in the PNRA Mercer 4. So Jack is rowing on home water here and doing a nice job. In lane 2, Zachary Kreider, and he's going to be rowing to Syracuse this fall. And pair partner Kevin Roulet, and he will be a senior in high school next year. And they are about 3/4 of a boat length down. We're going through our sort of dead spot with our transmission equipment. But these are our leaders. Doing a nice job. Looking like they're putting on a little bit of a move and just slowly moving out. They have certainly got open water now, about a half a boat over Kreider and Roulet. Gallagher and Lemur doing a nice job out in front here. 500 meters, it was still neck and neck. Second 500, this pair got about a boat length, and they've just opened it up ever since. As we're getting close to the 500 to go. And this is the last race of the evening, so the camera launch can continue to follow them down a little ways before we switch to the camera on top of the boathouse. Again, the U19 boats have a final tomorrow. It's the best 2 out of 3. So these two will see each other, these two pairs will see each other tomorrow morning. HereNow.com has the start times, but racing in general starts at 7 o'clock tomorrow morning, but continue to check to make sure things stay as scheduled. Well, Jack must be very proud rowing on home waters. That's always fun. Don't know if it's really an advantage, but it is fun. Hopefully he has a big fan base here to push him on. All right, and switching to the camera on the top of the boathouse. It is Gallagher and Lemur doing a great job out in front. Just a few more strokes to the line. And they've put themselves in a very nice position for tomorrow's second final. And that concludes the racing for this evening. Hopefully we will see you all tomorrow morning starting at 7 o'clock. Thanks. Bye-bye.